Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining me in another channeled message from my book, The Chosen One, titled Mary Magdalene, the Great Goddess. Jesus and Mary Magdalene, we thank you for your presence. Mary Magdalene, with your radiant smile, you are showing that you are pleased with what we now understand and acknowledge. During the time in which you lived, the male-dominated church hierarchy portrays manipulation and female persecution, which lasted centuries after your incarnation. As the people lived in harmony with Mother Earth and the ways of the great God-Goddess, all of life had a cycle of joy and a life spark that was honored and nurtured and was made manifest for continuing life and creation, to birth and to grow, to age and transform. This evolving cycle is honored and naturally known by women as a feminine philosophy overall. She is the feminine aspect manifest. It is that purest power and is her natural state. Mary Magdalene and her own mothers were healers, teachers, and were forced to conduct their work underground or face persecution. The official and respected presence of women as priestess and healers, health practitioners, had long been removed from the temples. They were now led, run, administrated, and serviced by priests and men only. The world was at war. The existence of the average person was treacherous, particularly near the cities. People were told what and how to believe and what to think and what to pay, or else the consequences were imprisonment or death. Life was extremely two-dimensional, violent, and provocative. The emergence of Jesus during this time was, of course, purposefully significant. The role of women in Jerusalem at this time and consistently around the world was that of possession, initially by her father and later her husband. This made well for a good future and to be humble serving wife and mother, to be in service only. No woman made a spectacle or was regarded as powerful. The role of a priestess and goddess was considered blasphemous, and of witches and demons. The temple holy men were determined to burn that out of existence. So most women, if they were healers or were performing energy work, which in truth were their natural state of living anyway, or using natural remedies, goddess wisdom, etc., they would keep this very quiet. Only inner circles close to their families would know. Mary Magdalene was from a prominent family lineage. She was wealthy and educated. She had the opportunity to learn, read, and write. She was articulate, beautiful, socially and worldly educated. Her mother was of royal lineage. Jesus and Mary Magdalene were not betrothed to begin with. She was promised to another, but she refused to marry him, even though that was unheard of in those days. As she practiced and nurtured her own innate abilities as a healer and intuitive, she was well aware of the twin flame union destined to her in a man who mirrored her passion and abilities. She even read it in tea leaves and knew it to be true. Mary Magdalene lived by the philosophies and the healing of the great goddess God as representation of the ultimate union of male and female energies as equal creators to bring forth the ultimate creation in flesh, the physical form of joy and love on earth. The goddess clans and groups were secretly existing, and Mary was a teacher status. Her personality was none to be quietened and therefore was always reminded for those who loved and were concerned for her. Be cautious of the words you speak so openly and publicly. Man has no compassion or leniency for what he perceives is a threat to his ego. Fools, she explains, where will this lead our race, our people, humanity, the children and their future? We must express our messages of love and their real reasons to live. Otherwise, I see no use in the embodiment of flesh, only to experience savagery. The temples and their leaders were infuriated with Mary's presence around Jesus or anywhere, as she had made quite a significant impact on those around her. A woman who was unattended by her husband or not chaperoned must be a harlot or a loose woman. But Mary was not married, not betrothed. She was educated and was known to be connected to the philosophies and teachings of the goddess. Those who felt threatened by her felt terribly uncomfortable in her presence. So the threat was illuminated through savage rumors of prostitution and of her being a whore. Her beliefs and strong associations with fertility rites, healing, women's circles cemented this further, and as such, her and other women were being hunted, persecuted, and eliminated, and were labelled less than wholesome society members by temple and political leaders. But none of this deterred her. She was a queen and representative of all women, as she illuminated and reminded them of a firm and undeniable truth, that the natural power was within the womb, is the holy and nourishing vessel of light, bringing forth life in a physical embodiment through babies, allowing each and every goddess in all women to shine forth. With love and gratitude, we conclude for now. Subscribe, share, and like, and visit my website for all up and coming meditation classes and workshops. Till our next story, God bless.